Hey, what's up guys? I'm back here at home in Hawaii for Christmas and it is super hot right now. The sun is just like glaring down on me. Anyways, I've been super busy shooting a ton of content for Animalist News with all the crazy animals we have out here. In fact, yesterday I just got to shoot with one of the biggest tortoises in the whole world. His name was Goliath. Pretty crazy, no big deal. Anyways, do you guys remember our Reindeer Bro video? We took a bunch of reindeer facts and then we shot a fun little sketch. But what we want to do now is give you guys the actual scientific explanations. So we interviewed Jack Dumbacher over at San Francisco's California Academy of Sciences to see if he could back us up. And he did a pretty good job. Here's what he had to say. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Hey! Do you know what I am? I'm a reindeer. Whew! And I'm tired, because I just traveled 3,000 miles this year. Longest known migration of any land mammal.
So sometimes people say that the reindeer has the largest or the longest migration of any land animal. And if you actually map their calving grounds in the Beaufort Sea all the way down to where they spend their winters south of the Brooks Ranges, and because they take such a circuitous route, they've been mapped to travel about, or estimated to travel about 3,000 miles each year. And so, you know, that distance, 3,000 miles, is the longest distance that any land animal migrates in 1 year.
I can also run up to 48 miles per hour. I'm fast. But normally I like to just take it easy and walk pretty slow. No big deal.
Yeah, they can, you know, in short bouts, they can move pretty fast, but, you know, they don't like to do that. And they're, you know, when you try and figure out, well, how far can they go in a day, and you multiply 48, you know, miles an hour by how many hours in a day, it's like they're not doing that at all.
Ooh, it's pretty cold. I bet you're pretty cold right now. You know who isn't? Me. I got hollow hairs all over my body!
So hair on reindeer works pretty much the same way hair does on us. So the idea is that the hair traps a lot of air next to the body, and that air doesn't conduct heat, so it helps hold the heat into the body. Because the hairs are hollow, it actually traps heat within the hair as well. So even when the wind's blowing, you know, things like that might mix it up a little bit, the hollow hair is even a better insulator. Think of things like styrofoam or closed-cell foam. And the hairs aren't hollow in the way that you would think of like a pipe being hollow. It's more like closed-cell foam. So there's lots of these little cells inside the hair and these little membranes that hold pockets of air inside the hair.
And my nose turns freezing cold air into warm air, so I don't shock my lungs. Comes in handy back home. In Siberia!
It works, again, kind of the same way that our noses work. So when we breathe in and it's a really cold day, you can sort of feel your nose freezing. And what's happening is that your nose is warming the air as you breathe it in, so that when it hits your lungs, it's not so cold. But then when you breathe back out, you can feel your nose warming back up. And so it's actually transmitting the heat back to your nose so that the air goes out colder. And so your nose is actually doing this heat exchange so that, one, the animal doesn't lose as much heat, but also so that the air doesn't like shock the lungs when it hits the lungs being so cold. And because our noses are relatively small and a caribou has a long snout and these nasal turbinates are all curly, there's a lot of surface area there for the mucous membranes, for that blood-rich, warm, moist air, so that when they're breathing in this cold, dry air, it can warm it up and moisten it.
Talk about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer!
What are you talking about? Rudolph is a girl. Male reindeer shed their antlers in early December, but females keep our antlers all through the winter. And what do Santa's reindeer have?
So the only reindeer that typically have antlers during the winter months are the females. So if you see some reindeer hauling Santa's sleigh and they have antlers, probably female.
Rudolph the girl! Rudolph the girl! Rudolph the girl! Rudolph the girl!
So here's an example of a reindeer antler, and you can see that they're quite large. Some of the largest antlers in the deer family. And you know, reindeer are deer, so it's basically the same thing as other deer. And it's actually a bone, and it's a bone that grows new every year. So this is a tremendous amount of bone that they have to grow each year. And then it falls off at the end of the year. And so a couple things that are really interesting about caribou antlers. One is that typically it's just the males that have antlers, and they mostly use them to fight each other to get access to mates and to control a harem. But in reindeer, the female also has antlers, and they keep their antlers during the winters, whereas the male typically drops the antlers after the rutting season, after they need them to mate with the females. And the females probably use the antlers because it helps them compete for food in the winter. You know, they're carrying babies, and they're trying to grow babies during the winter months, and the food is very, very scarce. And so they kind of they have much smaller antlers, but they can use it to nudge out their competitors when they're at these little craters trying to get access to the lichen.
All right, so there you guys have it. I'd like to thank Jack over at California Academy of Sciences, and I'd personally like to thank all of you guys for watching our content. Do you guys like our bro series? What do you think? Do you guys want us to do another animal? What animal would you want us to do? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to check out these other videos over here, and I'll see you hairy mammals later. Hey, happy holidays from Hawaii. Oh, it's so hot right now. The sun is just beaming down. I'm getting sunburnt. Merry Christmas.